Yo, what's going on everybody on YouTube? It's your boy Starboydez and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to lace Jordan 4'S. As you guys can see to the left of me, I have 4 different pairs of Jordan 4'S and they're laced 4 different ways. So with that being said, this is going to be a Jordan 4 lacing tutorial. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let's get into it.
All right, run it.
So to basically go over why I'm actually doing this video. Now, actually seen this comment, I think a week or two ago, one of you guys, hopefully you are subscribed. If you're not, you should be definitely subscribed. We're gonna roll to 1,000 subs and we are on the road to 600. Right now, we are actually at like 577.
Oh my God!
So just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, you know the rest, and hit that bell. So one of you guys actually told me I should go ahead and do a how to lace Jordan 4's video. I feel like that was the perfect video I did because I love talking about Jordan 4's, favorite model, and you know my favorite sneaker of all time actually just released recently. I would say back in November. I actually had to go ahead and pick these up and add these to collection. But I love talking about Jordan 4's. Sorry about that, but I do love talking about Jordan 4'S, so this is the perfect video. I can go and show you guys how to lace them differently from how you would normally lace any other shoe. Don't get it twisted, you could use these lacing tutorials for any shoe that you want. These are just how I personally lace my shoes. So let's go ahead and get that started. And I'm gonna start off with the 4'S. So now that we actually got that situated, I'm finally behind the desk. We're gonna go ahead and go over these shoes right here. So I actually like to call this the loosey-goosey. As you guys can see right here, it's very loose. I used to wear my shoes like this back in high school, not anymore. I feel like this is a little childish and it makes the shoe actually scuff a little faster if you ask me. So I usually just go with the regular tie. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to lace them right here. First of all, you wanna do is, I'm a little too lazy, I don't wanna take it all out. So I put it in already for the first loop. And I like to go ahead and make sure that it's even. So like you wanna stretch the lace out all the way to the top, make sure that's even. I'm messing up here, you see I'm getting a little nervous. Wanna make sure it's good. Make sure it's even, so when you get to the top, it doesn't look messed up or it doesn't look like a little off. So we're gonna go ahead and just initiate just lacing it, you know, putting the laces inside the shoe. So it does take a little bit of process to make sure everything is actually straight. So what you really wanna do is just take your time, you don't have to rush. I'm actually trying to rush because I have 4 shoes to do. So I'm trying to go ahead and get it over a little quicker. But all you're really gonna do is just put the laces, basically just tie the shoe up to the top. Just wanna go ahead and make sure it's all even and all of that so it doesn't look a little off when you actually loosen it up. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and catch you guys when I actually get to the top of the shoe. As you guys can see, I only did like 2 loops. So when I get to the top, we'll come back and I'll show you how to do it the easy way. So guys, I was a little too lazy to go ahead and loosen them all the way. This is the only shoe that I actually didn't loosen all the way because it's fairly easy. All you really have to do is just tie them up. And then when you get to the top of the shoe, what I like to do is, instead of putting it in this first eyelet, I like to go ahead and put it in the second. I like to use the second eye loop because for me, I feel like when you actually use the first eyelet, like for some reason the wing just goes like this. It just, especially if you have it tight, or if you walk a lot and like if you wear your shoes a lot, it's gonna go ahead and start to look like this. And you don't want your shoes to be bending, especially if you have like leather, like how this eyelet is. This one is actually leather. If you actually use that and you actually have it super tight and it's to the top, it's gonna go ahead and eventually start ripping, especially if it's actually inside the box. So I like to go ahead and do that. I learned that trick a couple years ago. And for you guys that don't know what I'm actually talking about, as you can see right here, this is actually the second eyelet right here, not the first one. I actually skipped the first one. And you want to just do the same thing for the other one. Make sure it's in the second one, not the first. And now that you actually have a fully tied Jordan 4, all you want to do is basically just loosen it up. Basically, you just want to go ahead and pull out as much as you think that you would need. For me, I like to go ahead and have them like sticking out like this, like little wings or whatnot. Then, now that you have them loose, you just want to go down and do the same thing. Just loosen it up. Loosen all of it up. Yep, all loosen, 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 loosen. Every single one. Stretch the shoe out a little bit, pull the tongue a little bit, and now you actually have the loosey. And now after you did all of that, you actually have the loosey-goosey look, just like that. Like I said, this is not my favorite, but I know a lot of people actually like to go ahead and do this. And then to make it look a little bit cleaner, you just want to like pull it down a little bit so it doesn't look so high. You get, once you put your foot in the shoe, it's gonna go ahead and stretch the shoe out a little bit, so it's not gonna look too bad. But here's the final product, the loosey-goose look right there for the Air Jordan 4 Fire Reds. Now, moving on to my favorite one. This is basically like regular tie. This is how I tie my shoes now. Just tie them to the top, but it's not so tight. It probably does look like that on camera, but it's actually a little bit of space in between the eyelets or whatnot. So it's not too tight, just looks tight. And I like to have long bunny ears because I feel like it gives it like a cleaner look. Or if you just want to use like a little small bunny ears, that's fine too. But for me, I feel like this is fire. So you want to grab the shoe. As you guys can see, this one is actually not laced. So what you want to do is basically put in the first eyelet and go ahead and stretch it to the top all the way up. Make sure it's actually even. And what I mean by even, it should be looking like this. It should not be longer than the other. When you pull it to the top, that's going to go ahead and set the foundation. So when you get to the top, you don't have one side longer than the other and one side too long. So I'm going to go ahead and lace these up. When you want to lace up your shoes, you want to make sure it's even, make sure that's flat so it looks a little bit cleaner and doper. It doesn't look so like off, especially when you're looking down on a pair of shoes. You don't want to see a shoe that looks a little off, you know what I'm saying? So you want to go and make sure it's a little flat. What I mean by that is you want to go ahead and make sure it looks flat like how these laces are. So you can see it's flat, but it makes the shoe look a little bit cleaner, you know what I mean? As opposed to, well, I don't have a shoe that looks bad right now. So I'm gonna go and lace these up to the top, and I'm gonna go and show you guys how I do it. Like I said for the Fire Red, well, for this, you can loosen up a little bit. Actually tie them a little too tight. So you wanna loosen up, widen out the sides, stretch it out just a little bit. You don't wanna go and do too much. Have the shoes look a little weird, sticking out like that. So then, like I said, for the Fire Red 4s, you wanna go ahead and go through the first loop right here. That's not what I mean. Put it through the first one, but when it comes to the actual wing, the little eyelets or whatnot, the little plastic parts, or for some people it might be leather, you want to go ahead and go to the second. So like I said, go to the second. Do a little quick because I do have a few shoes that I have to go through in a very short amount of time. So yeah, so now we have that. Go through the second eyelet. Then, like you normally tie a shoe, pull it just a little bit, not too much. You don't want it to be too tight. I like to go ahead and do bunny ears. I do 2. I feel like this right here actually keeps it straight. If you do it the other way, sometimes it likes to turn. For some reason, I don't know why, it just always stays like this for me sometimes. So I like to go ahead and do bunny ears like that. Take 2 in 2 hands. Then that's how you have the 2 bunny ears. Clean little look, nice, simple, and fire. Especially when you wear like baggy jeans and it sits over. You don't have to worry about being too loose and getting caught up in some of the laces. So here is the regularly tied Jordan 4. I guess you can call this the regular way. If you want to call it my way, whatever you want to call it. So that's it for the Reds. This right here is what I like to call the peace sign, because if you actually look at it on camera, it actually does look like it's doing a peace sign. You get what I mean? It's doing what I do at the end of my videos. So that's right there. This right here, you want to go ahead and tie it, not too tight, a little loose. Let me just go and show you guys. So that way I have it actually inside the eyelet. All you want to do, pull it to the top. As you can see, it's even. Like I said, you want to go ahead and set that foundation from the beginning of the shoe, so you don't have one side looking like this and the other side looking crazy. So what you want to do is just make sure it's even. You want to I would say, take your index and your thumb, bring it down to like the half point of it. Then you want to go and wrap it around. And then once you get to this little loop, should be a little loop right here. You want to go ahead and just push it through. And there is how you do the peace sign. You guys can see the peace sign right there. This one is actually a little bit longer. So if you don't want it that long, all you have to do, just go ahead and loosen the top just up a little bit. Just keep loosening up the shoe until you get it to like the perfect length that you want. For me, I would say how I would do it. Let me show you. I feel like it's a lot cleaner if you do it like that. I would say it's probably like in the half point of the shoe. Doesn't look too bad. This one I did very fast. This was a little bit longer. But as you guys can see, on this shoe right here is actually in the halfway point of the shoe. This one actually looks a lot cleaner than the loosey-goosey, to be honest. This is probably my second choice, if I would have to say so. So that would be it for the peace sign on the Cool Gray 4s. We actually have the Deadstock weight. This right here was, again, done very quickly for video purposes, not to make the video so long. But this is what I like to call the Deadstock look. If anybody gets a new pair of shoes, you know, especially a Jordan 1, this is exactly how it comes. A little bit longer, and it's gonna be inside the shoe. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to set it back to factory laces. Like I always say, you wanna go ahead and make sure it's even, pull it all the way out. All you have to do, if it's uneven, you wanna pull it up a little bit, pull it from the bottom, and just make sure it's straight. And once it gets even, you're good to go. Lace them up, make sure that the laces are flat. And then I'll catch you guys when we get to the top of the shoe again. Me at the top, here we go. We are actually at the end of the shoe, and we are going for the Deadstock look. So if you want the Deadstock look, all you want to do is just pull it to the top. Make sure it's pretty tight. It don't have to be too tight so you can wear it, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have it too tight, you can't put your foot in. So make sure it's decently tight. Then you would just come to the half point. Do the same thing you did for the peace sign, but instead of putting it straight through, front facing, you want to just pull it from the back. So once you pull it from the back, it's like a little peace sign, but going this way. And as you can see, there is the Deadstock way on purple metallic 4'S. So as you guys can see, I showed you guys how to lace 4 different ways and 4 different models on 4 different colorways, so you guys can get a better feel for how this is gonna look on each shoe, maybe any color shoe that you actually have. So we did the loosey-goosey, did the regular tie with the bunny ears, we did the peace sign, and we actually did the Deadstock way. So with that being said, like I said earlier, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. Right now we're at like 578 if I'm not mistaken. So anything helps. Comment down below, is this video helpful? And let me know what type of content do you guys want to see on the upcoming videos. Like I always say, I'm Starboydez. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. Peace.